Okay, Nick, so when we're looking at the numbers for last month in Oregon, really historical lows that Oregon is getting to as far as the unemployment rate is concerned.
That's right. Oregon's unemployment rate reached another historic low in February. It fell to 4%. That's the lowest Oregon's unemployment rate has ever been, going back as far as we have records for to 1976.
And what's been really, this is quite the momentum Oregon has had the last several months here. What's really been driving that momentum here in the economy?
But really, it's a continuation of the strong job growth that Oregon has been seeing over the last few years. So, Oregon has been adding jobs faster than the U.S. since 2013. So, all that job growth means more people are finding work and the number of unemployed has fallen.
Speaking of job growth, what did we see last month as far as that's concerned?
In February, Oregon added 8,200 jobs, so that's really strong amount of jobs in one month. But it follows a weak month in January. So even now, over the 2 months, 2017 is off to a great start. But we have that huge months of gains in February following a weak gain of just 700 jobs in January.
The other thing that's interesting about the unemployment rate here, Nick, is that it's so far below the U.S. rate. What's been happening in Oregon that's been a little bit different than what's been going on around the rest of the country that's allowed Oregon to drop so low below the U.S. rate?
Well, again, it has to do with our much faster job growth. So the job gains that we're seeing in Oregon is drawing more people to the state, and people who are looking for a job are finding jobs faster. So what that means is Oregon's unemployment rate is now just 4% compared to the U.S. rate of 4.7%. So Oregon's a lot lower than the U.S. has a much better unemployment rate right now. That's pretty rare. Usually Oregon's unemployment rate is higher than the U.S. We'd have to go back to the mid-90s for the last time we've seen Oregon's unemployment rate being so low compared to the U.S.
And lastly, here, the last expansion, you talked about it here in the mid 90s where the unemployment rate got this low. What's the difference in Oregon's economy now as opposed to where it was in the mid 90s?
Well, we are seeing broad job gains in Oregon, so we're seeing growth in all sorts of different industries. Construction is leading the pack with super strong job growth over the last year, but healthcare and financial activities are all seeing job gains. We don't have really concentrated growth in just any one industry.
Fewer job gains in January, but a strong February. Does Oregon kind of have some momentum that can be carried forward here as far as the economy goes?
Yes, so overall, Oregon's adding jobs at a rate of 2.2%, which is good, strong job growth. Over the last 12 months, Oregon had the 8th fastest job growth in the nation. It's a little bit slower than it had been a few years ago. So Oregon's growth rate has slowed somewhat, but we may feel this is a more sustainable level than the rates of around 3% that we were seeing a year or so ago.